Keep that energy, Jay.
Come on, bro. Like,
We hot. We hot.
like, come on, man. You cannot do that.
Let's go.
You cannot, man. Let me put them on.
You know what I'm talking about?
You cannot do that.
Sophisticated Frankie B. Look,
man.
dude, look.
Welcome back. We hot.
Hey,
coming in hot. You know what I mean?
I got him started.
It's your boy Frankie B right here, man.
What's up, live? Welcome to the CUTT N UP PODCAST. Eman The Barber goes from Macon.
Like, the Deion slander got to stop. Like, it has to. Like, it has to stop.
Straight off rip. So, Dr. Umar Johnson, I'm a little bit of a fan. Like, I mean, he's controversial. Some stuff I agree with, some stuff I don't. But the thing about I like it, he keeps an open mind. He's one of them we can agree and disagree people. Like you said, sometimes he sounds contradictory.
He is, because I'm going to say not the individual. We're not talking about the individual, but we're talking about Deion individually. Like, come on. Like,
for those who haven't heard it, you know, let's do the breakdown. We're going to dissect this thing.
Let's go.
So, this is Dr. Umar, and let me do it the big way, you know.
Oh, there you go.
Because iPhones, you know. All right, so here we go.
Deion.
What's your thoughts on Deion?
Everybody been texting me about this all week.
Talk to me about Deion, Dr. Umar.
Mind you, before you get into it, you know, Charlemagne gave Donkey today to people that would criticize him.
I know. That's right. And I'm coming right at it.
Let's go.
I'm coming right at it.
Let's go.
More lashes.
I'm coming right at more lashes. When Deion Sanders stood against Colin Kaepernick's protest in 2016, I branded him a Negro peon.
He did?
Yes, he did. He said he did. I saw him say it out his mouth on an interview. He said he should not have taken that knee. It was wrong. Deion Sanders. I put him in the Negro peon camp because he didn't stand with Colin Kaepernick. When I heard Deion Sanders was taking the job, I said, okay, I'm going to give him his black pass back.
Now, to that point, did you ever hear him?
Never heard it.
Because, I mean, he just did that briefly. That was a broad statement. He could have
I never.
but I never remember him.
Deion to stay away from those type of things.
Yeah. And I guess because since he was a Cowboy and being with Jerry, you know, he was.
But he didn't speak
against
on
it.
Jerry.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, but it's not about it. But I'm just saying because I guess Deion's of that Cowboy lineage kind of.
That's why he's one of the little hot, maybe.
Maybe. So I'm going to have to do some history backtracking, but here we go.
Because here you are, one of the top 5 greatest athletes, arguably the greatest football player ever, including Tom Brady. Deion could go down as greater than. You go to Jackson State, HBCU. That's impressive. Now I hear all of a sudden you might be leaving.
Well, so he's leaving.
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone. Stay with me. He's wrong. But I have 2 levels of wrong. I got a low level and I got a high. I'll explain them to you quickly. My low level. If Deion told the administration and the students and the players at Jackson State that I'm taking this job, but I need y'all to know, if something better comes along, as soon as it comes along, I may be leaving you.
He did say that.
He said that.
If he was that transparent, I didn't see that.
I played the clip the other day. He said it on 60 Minutes. He said that.
No, he said he may be leaving. He did not say he was leaving after 3 years.
No, he said that if a Power 5 school comes along, I have to entertain it. I would be a fool not to. And Deion has always been
same.
No, Deion has always been transparent and open about what his goals were.
I disagree with you. He told them if it comes his way, he would have to entertain it. He never said I would leave you that soon. He never said I can be gone in 3 years.
Yeah. That doesn't matter.
It don't.
You don't have to give a full warning about a job. If you want to switch a job, you give them 2 weeks notice. You don't gotta. That's been a professional. You might get that. It depends on how imminent or the availability of the next move is and how soon they want you
to start.
No other coach, even us that's been in the process of Kyle, you know, if you wanted to transfer, I'm gone.
Bro.
I didn't say, hey, coach, I'm only going to play like maybe 1 year. Depending on how I like you or whatever, if I have a good season, if I have a bad season, such and such.
Bro, that's like, that's like,
you know,
that's the same way I say, for example, I'm one of the best players coming out of high school. Right?
Yeah.
I go to an HBCU.
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm balling out. And then next thing you know, either Ohio State or somebody else come recruiting me.
Not only that, or a better player, just like Joe Burrow. Joe was at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not wrong, he was at first Georgia too. Was he connected?
I could take it one better. Cam Newton was at Florida.
And Tim Tebow, absolutely. But and Cam got into a little bit of trouble. Went to the JUCO, won a championship. Went to Auburn and won a national championship. But Joe Burrow, he was I forget the quarterback that. Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow lost out his job. Justin Fields went to LSU. He didn't say, "Hey, I'm thinking about going to LSU if this doesn't work out." And it's the same thing with any coach. Nick Saban was with the Dolphins and just high drive left them and went to Alabama.
Jimbo Fisher.
Jimbo left your boys. Right, go ahead.
Jimbo Fisher recruited all these people down there in Florida State. Got them there.
That was slow as I don't know what.
And then rolled completely out. But see, that's the thing. That's what gets me. That right there is what gets me. Like you can have your opinions towards certain people. I was still talking, aren't we?
Yeah, I know.
Like you got certain opinions against certain people. You feel what I'm saying? Like, certain ones is like, all right, well, that's that. We good. That's that. But other people, man, it's like it is what it is. But let's get back. Let's get back.
Does it matter though? His contract was
I'm gonna tell you why it matters. I'm about to tell you right now why it matters. Because he damn wrong. Now, if he told them, if I'm going to go back and study some more, but from what I seen him say, he was not that direct. But if he was, and that's not what I saw, so we disagree there. But if he was, he's still wrong, but it's a low level because at least you was transparent and you gave him informed consent. Mm-hmm. They knew you could leave at any time.
That's right.
Okay? Still wrong. I'm explaining in a minute. Mm-hmm. Now, if he didn't tell them that, okay, and I'm hearing from people who know athletes on that team that they were not told it that way.
They weren't listening.
And they're upset.
Because he said that on 60 Minutes.
Okay? He didn't say it that way, Charlamagne. I saw that.
He did not.
No, he didn't.
Exact quote.
If he did not do it that way, that automatically means that Deion Sanders used, abused, and exploited HBCU Jackson State just to be given an opportunity.
You talking about prime time, man. Mr. Money himself. Must be the money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do he need to use or to exploit a HBCU that's not even known? It's like he went to Howard, Morehouse. He didn't go to none of those colleges. Jackson, Mississippi. That's like going to Coppin State over on North Parkway, on North Avenue.
The only thing he did use him for is to skip the line because of prom and his promise, he ain't gonna be nobody's assistant on a major.
No need to.
No, but you know how we have to go through all the steps.
But at the same time, we are not prime.
I know, but that's why he didn't want to go to the NFL straight away because it wasn't a guarantee like he was going to get a head coaching job just like Jeff Saturday did.
But no. See, Deion spoke out on why he didn't really want to go to the NFL.
Yeah, well, that's not Yeah.
No, he said the reason he really don't want to go to the NFL is because
I forgot.
he's passionate to go on to. He said he'd be in trouble, he'd get locked up because the way he feel about football, to try to teach it to a bunch of people that just there just to make money. He said it won't work for him because they're not going to listen to him the way he want to put everything. You notice in Deion stuff.
Yeah, you got to deal with egos.
Not only egos, like you got egos in college, so it is.
Yeah, but they're not millionaires.
Now, I mean, NILs and all that.
It's still not consistent. It's only a handful.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is basically like if you look at it, you got Deion, the way he run his stuff, like he said. Everybody gonna be dressed the same. We're gonna look like one when we in meetings.
Yeah.
No phones out. None of this stuff. You know,
he's building a culture.
Yeah,
he's building a culture.
It's a way that he got you to get you ready and prepare you on and off the field.
Right. So, like, by him already being there, building the culture, building it the right way, getting the exposure for the kids. I said this just expedites his next level.
Right.
Because, like he said, and like Charlemagne mentioned, the aforementioned statement, if a D1 offer comes, Power 5, I gotta entertain it because it would be stupid. And most likely he's gonna end up at his alma mater. He's probably gonna take over at some point in time. Thank you. Some point in time. So I don't care. That thing was good.
No.
So I just say he just used Jackson State as the first step. So like
stepping stone to show you what I can do.
I can take a trash program, nobody around.
If I could do this with them, just imagine what I can do with y'all.
But we already know he had the capability. He's been putting high school, the high school team he's been putting out.
Like, come on.
All of them 4 or 5 stars. So it doesn't.
And it's another person that I know who could be a great coach in college, but they probably never give him a chance.
Cool.
Snoop. He got players in the NFL. Juju, all of them, they came through Snoop.
Well, Snoop had the coaches in place.
Snoop was out there coaching. I watched his
but coach, this is me. I would be kind of hesitant too because even though Snoop is, I'm about to say. No, I'm just saying his coaching prowess, you got to be able to break down both sides of the ball. I'm not sure if Snoop's going to really have formations and all that to really input what his assistant coaches already know. But no, Snoop definitely knows. I mean, he knows talent, yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't put Snoop on a college level. I don't think he has.
We don't know.
Yeah, I'm on the.
You're looking at Prime as Prime.
Yeah, that's correct. Like, you know what I mean? But Snoop is like, he'll get the attention, but I don't know about the coaching though. But let's dissect some more.
Yes.
To show predominantly white institutions that he could coach. If he only used them as a stepping stone to getting a job at a white college, he was dead wrong. Now, let me tell y'all why this is bigger than football. Mm-hmm. What case is the Supreme Court reviewing right now?
Right now, the case against black. What is it for black students in colleges?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. The U.S. Supreme Court right now is reviewing whether or not racially conscious admissions in higher education are unconstitutional. And guess who is bringing the suit? Asians. But guess who's funding the suit? White people with connections to the 6 conservative justices on the United States Supreme Court bench. So, what they're saying is Asians are discriminated against on the basis of the personality aspect of the admissions process at Harvard and the University of North Carolina, among other universities, by subjecting Asians to that personality assessment, which includes personality, background, social economic status, culture, this, that, who you are, what you want to be. Asians are being penalized for their high test scores and grades. So what the Asians want and what the white folks who are funding the Asians want is they want the Supreme Court to say you cannot include race at all as a factor in higher education admissions. If they throw that out, if they say Harvard cannot use the personality assessment portion of the admissions process, the percentage of Asians that get accepted into PWIs goes up by 20%, and the percentage of black students will plummet by at least 50%. You know what that means? You are watching the gentrification of black children off of the PWI campus. How is this relevant to Deion Sanders? The reason I'm so personally disappointed in Deion is I thought he was there for a movement, not for money. Meaning, Deion Sanders, the coach of Jackson State, I foresaw a situation where Deion would hire other coaches, other retired black NFL greats to coach other HBCUs. In doing so, you attract our top tier high school athletes to come to HBCU.
Maybe.
Stay with me.
Eddie George is at Tennessee State.
Stay with me. Football and back. You know, like I know, if you got top tier NFL greats coaching HBCUs, the athletes are coming just like they was coming for Deion. He showed you, Charlamagne.
Deion, though.
He showed
Dr.
you.
Umar.
And I'm going to be honest, I got a guy on the staff. I'm going to tell you what my guy on the staff said. Very reliable. He said, JB, Deion went out and asked people of the LeBron statures and these type of guys in the business that are black African-American people that are billionaires. Hey, man, it ain't going to be another figurehead like me as a black coach coaching black men. There's not going to be another one of me. This is your time to jump and get in here. You want me to stay? You want to do this and make a change? Let's start dumping some money. No one did. Chirp, quiet, crickets.
We got the best everything because we should be generating more money because we got the best athletes.
Facts.
He went to them on that. And all of these fist in the air, fake pro-blacks, they didn't fork over a dime.
Use them for money. Deion contract, this Jackson State University, was $1.2 million over 4 years, or $300,000 annually. Right? Now, of that, Deion donated half his salary, which is $150,000, to upgrade Jackson State facilities. Also, what Deion did, had ESPN College game day at Jackson State University.
Yeah, I listed the accolades he did.
He brought in,
so
he generated over $185 million.
Yeah, so that's just a farce. This Deion left Colorado for money when he's actually working in the deficit. Because not only that, because he's playing for all the other accessories or the extras when the team goes out, the meals, the proper meals, or the meals that the Power Five get. He introduced that. He paid that. The water situation in Jackson, he paid that. So it's like
all the stuff he brought to Jackson, Mississippi.
And y'all overlooking once again, and some of y'all HBCU grads and alumni know the funding gets misused and misplaced. They stole from this man what was in his contract. If he meets a certain criteria, a number with the attendance, which he sold out every game, they would bump up his pay.
Did they?
Never seen it. He was supposed to reach 30% of the attendance, the criteria, credibility. They gave this man 28% after selling out every game.
Not only that. So now you want to talk about money.
It's the trust. I wouldn't want to. I would consider somewhere else.
You want to talk about money? He going from $1.2 million there to $29.5 million over 5 years in Colorado.
Absolutely. But it's not about the money.
But it ain't about the money.
Like I said, or else he would have never gave back his
half his salary.
So a lot of that was out of his pocket.
And his other was
Deion,
just as
one
great.
of the most famous people ever.
And his other was just as great. So listen.
Eddie George at Tennessee State.
That's one person. We talking about a system, not an individual. So Deion and these other coaches bring all these athletes from high school to play football, basketball, so forth. The revenue of the HBCU goes up, Envy. As a result of the revenue going up, Charlamagne, the schools got more money. They don't have to subject themselves to closure. They don't have to subject themselves to being dependent on white money. You got HBCUs at risk of being closed. I read something that said almost a half of them, may not survive the decade. So this was bigger than football. This was about the survival of the HBCU.
It's bigger than Deion,
especially
though, Dr. Umar.
no,
Yes,
no,
it is. I think
no. Stop trying
you're blaming an individual.
Stop trying to give celebrities a pass, Charlamagne.
But no, you're blaming an individual
I'm not
instead of
blaming
talking about
him.
the issue.
I'm blaming black men for not being men.
But you know what?
I'm blaming us for not being men. That was an unmanly move.
Can you admit one thing?
Deion could have went down in history, brother.
Are HBCUs chronically under?
Contradiction. You keep on saying what Deion could have did. And when Charlamagne say, well, Deion is just one person, you can't put all that on him. We're not talking about just one person. We're talking about us black men as a... And then you said, if other NFL players go down there and start coaching big names and bring people in. He said Eddie George is a coach down there in Tennessee State. That's one person. We're not talking about the individual. We're talking about the whole thing. But now you're still talking about Deion individuals, you know.
Yeah, because you know the weight that Deion carried.
But my thing is this. You can't say other coaches are going to do what Prime do when Eddie George is not doing what Prime do.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Because he doesn't carry the weight that Deion. Nobody is going to be able to bring that attention right away and that eminent success.
Because they got Prime.
But it's the way that they put this messianic weight on Deion. Like he keeps on saying, to bring HBCUs back to prominence.
He's not. His obligation was to Jackson State University.
Yeah.
That was his obligation. Jackson State University. Make them relevant. You know, bring them what they need to do. What did he do? Everything he said he was going to do down there, he did and more. Yeah. And said, I'm leaving my resources. Mm-hmm. I'm leaving all that there for y'all. Mm-hmm. Even though y'all broke me and my son's cars. Mm-hmm. Even though y'all go in my office and steal from me and the security just sitting there and letting them do it. Yeah. Even though y'all steal from my salary when y'all supposed to be putting more money into my football team and y'all putting in other sports inside there instead of what we like, come on.
But did you think he was going to stay more than 3 years?
No.
Why not?
Because of his record. I'm looking at it as football. You're good. If you're good and you're playing, you're doing everything you're supposed to do there, other offers going to come. He already said that if another offer, bigger offer
but he had no prominent wins. And they lost to South Carolina State in the bowl game.
It's first year.
No, that was second.
No, it's first year because this is their second year back-to-back winning.
No, he came in during the pandemic. Well, that you can throw that.
This is their second year back-to-back.
He's been there 3 years.
Right. The first year they lost. Last year they won, and they won this year.
No, they won the conference championship. They didn't win the bowl. That's what I'm saying. He has no prominent wins though. He did say he wanted to put that mark and play against a Power 5. Like he said, give me 40, give me a whole recruiting class. Let me get my guys in, and then after 5 years, come and talk to me. Well, I want to put words in the mouth. I'm gonna just say allegedly.
He said, "Give me a couple years."
Give me one so at least 4 years. That 5th year, we're gonna be as good as a Power 5.
But yeah, that's
his culture.
But that's your plan.
Yeah.
You know.
So that's where he misled or misguided us.
But when your plan is this, right, and you got that agreement with Jackson State. And then all of a sudden, Jackson State started doing this. I'm going to take this.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that. Now you're taking from my plan. Mm-hmm. How can I execute my plan when you're taking pieces from my plan? So how am I going to execute this?
But the money's still coming in, though.
But am I seeing it? Is my football team seeing it? No. Because everybody else got better.
The deal's already in place.
What I'm saying,
but they are stealing from me.
Everybody else got better. Because of them.
What you mean?
They start putting in other programs.
Oh, yeah. But still, they got a whole new facility, though. So he did see some of that.
It helped them out.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's some corruption happening in the administrative offices at Jackson State, which could have led him to want to go someplace else. But also, the vision could be different, all right? And that's something that we got to understand. A lot of times, black people want to do the same things, but the visions are different. You even see it sometimes in African civil wars, like even the Liberian civil wars. You could have Prince Johnson and you can have, Charles Taylor, who they were both trying to defeat Samuel Doe, and then they had a falling out and split. Same thing here with Deion Sanders and Jackson State. But I want to talk about having different visions and why it's sometimes okay to separate. Doesn't mean that you're a sellout, doesn't mean that you're anything else, because Roland Martin's going to explain right now his reasoning for leaving the Chicago Defender.
In black institutions to also make decisions as to how we lead them. So let me give y'all an example. I didn't leave the Chicago Defender because CNN called me. I left Chicago Defender because the folks who own the Defender wanted the paper to be a small community paper. That wasn't my vision. I was trying to make the Chicago Defender into the nation's leading black media organization. They didn't want that. I said, I got to go. Now, understand, for 20 years, the Chicago Defender lost money. It was a bad paper. It was called the Chicago Offender. I get there, we lose money my first year, make a profit my second year, make a profit my third year. Now, when I leave, the paper goes down after I leave. That ain't my fault. That's the folk who still own it and run it. And so, the challenge right now for Jackson State, or for every SWAC school, and for every HBCU, is not to decry Deion. What you should be now saying is, who's going to be our new leader? What's the plan of action? And so, I never thought Deion was going to stay at Jackson State 3 or 4 or 5 years. The fact that he stayed 3 years is also surprising. And so the fact of the matter is, what we've got to learn to do in black institutions is to, on Makongo's point, stop sitting here looking for the savior, but also let's create multiple people who understand what we're doing and also what we're trying to build. Now,
what you see there is a lack of vision from one side and a greater vision for the other. Roland Martin clearly didn't want to stay there because the vision was wrong. And the Chicago Defender, which he calls at one point the Chicago Offender, they went out of business, or at least they started losing money again. And this is the same thing. A lot of people are saying that Deion Sanders wanted to be Division I AA, or eventually join, FBS or FCS. I don't know which one it was. He wanted the program to elevate to the next level. And the Jackson State administration didn't want to do it. So what am I seeing here? I'm seeing that you have a man that has a vision for himself to go one way, and Jackson State wants to go another way.
So concerned about how your life, and what I'm doing for your life. Right. What about my life?
My life, yeah.
And my kids' life.
Yeah, I ain't people don't get a lot of time, it'd be how can they benefit our viewers? Sometimes
there you go.
They enjoy the highs of it, and then when it comes to the end, like disappointment. It's like a bad breakup with anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's not. It's not. First of all, it's an opportunity to open doors. We had 4 African American coaches terminated at Power Fives.
Right.
Not one was replaced with another African American man but me.
Right.
So this is something that this is, you talking about a high calling. This is a high calling.
Yeah.
That God has opened the door so I could go in and crack that thing and let others in. Right. This is what we're trying to do, Grimes. It's a bigger picture than what they see, but God does not give your vision to other people.
Right.
So this is my vision.
And that's the thing about it with people like you. It's like if you win 0-30, you know what I'm saying, didn't win the game, then it wouldn't be an issue.
Oh no, it ain't no issue.
To be ready while you're here, but it's like,
you get terminated. Remember, I see you get terminated, elevated. One of the two. Ain't no issue.
It went down in history, brother.
Are HBCUs chronically underfunded?
Of course.
Were they chronically underfunded before Deion?
Yes.
Will they be chronically underfunded after Deion?
Yes.
Absolutely.
What are those reasons that they're chronically underfunded?
Because we as black men have not come together to create the funding source to make sure they survive. I don't want to hear about the government. We have too many wealthy blacks. Y'all interview them every day.
I'm with you. So you got low alumni donors,
okay,
right?
Okay.
Low endowments.
Correct.
That's a us problem.
He part of us. Why you keep exhibiting celebrities?
He's one person.
They're not better than us.
He's one person.
Okay, but the point is that one man could have been a catalyst for a movement that would have revolutionized the survival of HBCUs.
But why does the movement stop just because he left? HBCUs gonna still be here.
You're missing the point.
No,
the
HBCUs gonna still
abolition
be
wasn't
here.
just about Frederick Douglass. But if Frederick Douglass would have pulled out, it would have hurt it. The Underground Railroad wasn't just about Harriet, but if she would have pulled out, it would have failed.
So what was the
civil
HBCU
rights movement wasn't
before
just about King.
Before Deion 3 years ago, what was
they
the HBCU
were struggling,
movement?
and he could have helped save it. And for him to pull out of Jackson State the way that he did it before making sure the HBCU system survived, to me was selfish. He chose money over the movement, Charlemagne, and celebrities do it all the time, and y'all want to give him a pass. Nobody get no pass. I don't care who Deion Sanders is. He had a chance to help, and he hurt, and y'all want to condone that because you black celebrities are not committed to the best interests of black people.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. When Deion was coaching high school kids for several years, you know, when he
we
was...
ain't talking about that. We're talking about survival of HBCU.
I'm going to get there. When he was coaching high school kids for several years, you know, black kids, when he was opening up Prime Prep Academy that got closed down because they had financial issues, when he went to Jackson State for $1.2 million for 4 years and said, you know what, y'all
he didn't even stay for 4 years.
But listen, y'all take half this salary and go build a better go build a better facility for students, and he got to pay back $300,000.
And after all that, I'm still going to leave Jackson State for a super white college that got a 1.6 black student.
But you ain't let me finish my point.
Rate. No,
wait.
How can you say 1.6 black students, which means the only blacks on that campus are the athletes, and you're going to tell me that that's a step up? You sold us out for money, bro.
How can you say it's about money when when his track record shows
he stayed
don't
for
pour
3 years? That was
money.
no commitment. His track record shows that if white people give me the money, I'll turn my back on the HBCU system. What are you talking about? That's what he...
Yeah, strongly disagree with that.
How?
Yeah, it was never.
How?
Yeah.
He's there to be a football coach. If anything, he's bringing in more black people to Colorado.
Yeah.
Not only that, he's bringing HBCU coaches that would never had a chance to get to a Power 5 college up to that level to show what they can do.
Yeah.
Not only that, his whole recruiting class that he recruited down in Jackson State, where are they going?
Well, most of them are, because not all of them are going to be able to transfer, because, you know, the transfer portal, you only have a certain amount of scholarships available. And
Travis Hunter, where he going?
Oh, he's already, we already know he's there. Like you said, I got some luggage with me. And they all, it's Louis, and they all dogs.
To say that he did this, to say that he did this for the
money, but I don't want to mess it up, because he said something that is just totally contradictory. Well, not contradictory, but it was just wrong. It was just controversial. Man.
He had the chance to impact all HBCUs.
That I think that's part of it. Saying like putting all the prowess and the future success on him. He's like, he should have stayed and waited until HBCUs was, you know, really prominent and got things in motion. Because, like he said, what would the Underground Railroad been without Harriet Tubman? And he said,
but what was the Underground Railroad? Before blueprint and not only a blueprint, it was I'm leaving it there. I'm showing you the way.
Everybody filed because it was more freedom leaders.
Because once she was done, it was still went on. People were still using it.
Yeah.
She paved the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it was. He got the blueprint. He left his resources. He got you a 10-year contract with ESPN too.
Yeah, man. So, that I totally disagree on. Like, too much pressure. Like you were saying before, like, it's not about one man, even though this one man is going to bring you notoriety. But you can't just say because he's leaving, it's not going to work. Because people don't give back or we don't support.
And the thing about it,
like
he just made them better. He made them better.
Yeah. So Morgan State, you'll be getting the donation or a copy, both of them, because my brother went to copy. I'm giving back $10 each. Y'all split that.
Y'all split
the 20.
I disagree.
That's what he just did.
I disagree.
Come on, man. If he would have stayed there, if Deion would have stayed there, like I said, he could have brought other black coaches in, former NFL greats. They would have raised the revenue of the HBCU, which is so critical now. Why? Because the Asians are being financed by white folks to kick what little blacks are left on the PWI campus off. So that means the critical importance of the HBCU is greater now than it's ever been. So for Deion to pull this right now makes it even worse because you're leaving the HBCU system when you had a chance.
So how many lashes for Deion?
Stop trying.
Let me ask you this. All right, so you're talking about the Asians getting back in from the white people, right? To go to these high-ranking colleges like Stanford, Harvard, BYU, and all these colleges, right? So if it's knocking off the black people that's supposedly be going there, your whole defense and your whole purpose of talking is about getting more black people to go to HBCUs.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, you don't think that them not going to and choosing these predominantly white colleges not going to bring them back to HBCUs? You get what I'm saying? If it's going to cut half the black people from going there, now you complaining about the education that we're getting. You know what I mean? You complaining about the education, saying, all right, if they do this, they're going to cut off the black people from going from places like Stanford, Harvard, and all those places. And then at the same time, you're saying the HBCUs are suffering because people don't want to go there. You could have bought them notoriety by staying there and bringing up their funding because they're there, and more people is getting, more people is coming. Mm-hmm. So you're basically contradicting yourself by saying, all right, you want this, but at the same time, you want higher education for black folks, but you want them to go, you don't want them to come from these high-ranking schools, but at the same time, you want the people that go to these high-ranking schools to go down here to the HBCUs. But it's a problem because we don't have black funding. I don't understand it.
Yeah, I understand. That is a good point. My only kickback is, like you said, Colorado is less than 2%. And all that's probably, like you said, athletic.
Who want to go to Colorado?
Exactly. So why put...
To change the culture.
Why?
To change the culture. Like you said, it's less than 2%.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to change the culture. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get rid of every one of your coaches that was there and bring in all these black coaches that was in these HBCUs that didn't have a chance. So now, who would have never had a chance to get on this level, y'all come on. Now y'all won't get noticed on these big levels or what y'all can do. And now, guess what? My defense coordinator is getting taken to be over here, be a head coach over here, or a defensive coordinator at LSU or somewhere else. You get what I'm saying? You're factoring in, you're bringing in you're still opening up that door to bring in black coaches, because that's what the only reason he took the job.
All right. So with that, but that's another reason why he's saying, why leave Jackson State now? Because if you're there, more college coaches will go, more prominent former players and coaches will come back to the HBCU, so you don't have to worry about the PWI. But inevitably, the cream of the crop is going to get picked out, and they're going to go to the major colleges.
Because at the same
but
time,
if you build that first and then spread out, then really you're restoring all the talent pool is within us.
But at the same time, what I'm doing is looking at the bigger picture for the ones that, like, how hard is it for a five-star player, five-star athlete that's in high school with all these colleges coming at him? Like, why would I choose Jackson State? Or why would I choose Tennessee State? If it's not crime.
If it's not crime, it's got to be the players. I got to know somebody. I got to know.
Right.
I gotta know the pro. If it's not the coach, I gotta know the program. Because Nick Saban doesn't have the SEC doesn't have to recruit at all.
No, but this is the thing though. Kids in high school, most of these athletes, they're coming from places where as though they're struggling, their mother's struggling. They you know what I mean. Why would I go to Jackson State University when LSU want me?
Yeah.
Why would I do that?
Right.
When I know I could go to LSU for 2 years and then go to the league.
Right.
Why would I do that?
Well, without Prime or with Prime?
No. This is like period. Jackson State players, even with Prime down there, it's only one or two Jackson State University players in the NFL. Even with Prime down there.
No, he doesn't have a recruiting class. Like, so
no,
none of his players that came because of Prime are even eligible yet.
But this is what I'm saying. Even with that, people that played under Prime, it's one person that played for the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
That is from the HBCU. That's from Jackson State. That's in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, they look at it as the lower.
It is.
Like, so.
It is what it is.
Why would I go there if I'm playing against, if I'm supposed to be in college and I'm playing against Pop Warner?
That's true. Yeah, that is definitely true. I wouldn't want to go. It's not a
you would
it's
think
not
it's
a
an
advantage, but
you would think
is.
it is an advantage because you're dominating, but at the same time, what they're gonna say is, look what you're dominating. Your competition is, you know what I mean? That's what they're gonna say.
But not fair because they don't have that type of speculation when it comes to some of the prominent quarterbacks now.
Yeah, and some of the prominent quarterbacks that get to the league as well.
Or FCS. That's what I'm saying.
Prime example. Look at Matt Ryan. Ain't the UFC quarterback.
No, I'm talking about Josh Allen, South Dakota State. The one in your boy Carson Wentz. FCS. Wasn't FBS. Wasn't he came from D2 or mid-major D1. So I'm just saying you shouldn't have to break that. Like I understand they're playing in the Western Conference, but so are these people.
But not only that,
let them develop. That's all.
At the same time, I know you got to jump back in there, but at the same
we
time,
run out of time. It's about 40 minutes.
Oh, all right, I'll leave it alone.
To exempt black celebrities from accountability to the race. Celebrities are not above accountability. Stop,
I
Charlamagne.
agree. So how many lashes?
Stop.
How many lashes for Deion?
50,000 lashes for Deion.
It's over. That's about it. So, write your comments down below, definitely.
Like, we definitely living in a day and age where as though if you're good, they will find you.
Absolutely. And that's why I said it shouldn't be. I understand that viewpoint because I had the same mindset and never got a letter from Morgan or Coppin for basketball. But I got, like I was telling people, I got Georgia Tech, I got Pepperdine, I got Northeastern. All PW, Georgia Tech is, half and half because it's in Atlanta, but still, why is it Georgia? I would have gladly played for Morgan. Gladly. So, I
got offers from Boise State.
Nah, I don't even think I got them.
But they never sent that up, so they kept on sending me money.
Right. So, that's it. Just running through what happened through, NFL week. Ravens pulled out an ugly one. Rough.
Ooh.
But it got done. I didn't even watch it. So I don't.
J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, he had a game?
Yeah. 16 carries, 120 and a touch.
That's what's up.
First game back.
Yeah. So I like that.
Yeah, he had $120 on the ground. And he's not fully healthy. You can tell because it was one run he could have broke it. Mm-hmm. He got caught.
Oh, he
got was kind of dragging his leg a little bit. He said, I'm out of shape. I'm good. Just, I would have never got caught. We're the third string quarterback.
Yeah, so we beat Steelers. Sorry to our sister.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
Not only her.
RW.
RM too.
Mm-hmm. Don't come from my father, man.
Hey.
You don't want them problems.
You can't be the side. What is it? Oh, it's the
Don't come from my father. You know
it's argument now, though? You know it's argument now?
Yeah, we beat you the last 5 times.
Last 4 years, not on that. How many rings do we got?
Yeah, we all did.
Come on, man. When the last time y'all won?
We beat you in 2 years.
Sweet. And my question was, how many times has Umar played them?
I'm not sure. Well, I guess what? About 8 at least. But other news, well, we're still on top of the division.
Yes, sir. Cleveland, y'all next.
Cleveland, yeah.
Shout out to OBT Social.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though she's wrong, but Brittney Griner's home for football arms.
Raymond Reddington.
Yeah. Brittney's home.
I don't think that was a good trade. I'm sorry. I really don't. Like, I don't. You gonna get
Brittney knew.
like massive arms, massive destruction.
Assault rifle. MEW.
Ukraine, like really? Like y'all gonna do that?
Yeah.
We doing this right now? Like,
Hey, we'll see how it turns out. Hey. I think he's on house arrest.
we still watching. They probably do. They ain't get him back.
There was some fight news that went on. I'm just all over the place. Teofimo Lopez. That's who it fought. The one that lost all his belts. No, he lost all his belts to Kambosos. And then Devin Haney beat Kambosos 2 times. That's what it is. So Teofimo Lopez back.
Tyson Fury still knocking people.
He's still, that's the one I was. Yeah, Tyson Fury had a fight. He looked good. Knocked out another brother.
Hey, leave that man alone.
Taking the brothers back, man.
Leave him alone, man.
That's our kryptonite, man.
He's driving this life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Leave him alone.
I will break him.
Leave him alone, man.
Yeah, story time I'll probably add it on the tail end. We gotta get out of here. Love y'all. Thanks for watching. Definitely like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, sir. It's your boy Frankie B.
Eman The Barber.
Man, we out.
See y'all next time, man.